The Flames are 1 week into the season, and it's been a lot of fun so far. Dylan and Chris going to break it down. ArmChair GM Podcast brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network. Let's get into it. Well, Dylan, went 3-0 until Buffalo came to town.
Seems like a lot of teams are taking them lightly and maybe not getting up for Buffalo games, even though they're starting real strong. Seem to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, what are they, 3-1?
I'm not entirely sure what their record is, but I know that they've blasted through the West here and kind of destroyed everyone.
Yeah.
So we're recording this on the 20th, right after the game, the Buffalo game ended. Again, we started 3-1 with basically a whole new team. I mean, obviously a lot of the team is the same, but basically, new lines, three brand new, key players. Chemistry needs to be worked on, and I think starting 3-1 is better than anybody could have asked.
Oh yeah, well, especially considering the three teams that we beat, right? I mean, started off the season playing the defending Stanley Cup champions.
5-3 win.
5-3 win. Granted, they were coming off the tail end of a back-to-back, but they were playing Chicago, weren't they?
So it's and I mean, they still showed us why they were the champs in the third, but we really took it to them in the first and second. Again, they look tired, and I don't think there's a whole bunch you can take into that game or look into that game as far as the next time we meet them. Circumstances will be different and all that type of stuff, but it's still good to get that W. 100%. Like, those are the points you need. Like, tough teams come into town and you're they're tired, you got to beat them. So
absolutely, yeah, you have to take advantage of the tail end of that back-to-back for sure. And I'm sure there was a little extra motivation in the room to help Kadri beat his former team. And and it was opening night, right? So already emotions are high and life is pretty good. The dome was rocking, and I'm sure the new players that have played in Florida for such a long time saw a different atmosphere in a building that they're not particularly used to.
100%. And like, I think they're both excited. What do you think about Brett Ritchie scoring the first goal of the season?
I mean, how could you set it up any better?
You couldn't,
right?
People shit on sniper so much.
Yeah, and there's just natural sniper, and with number 17 being the GOAT as far as setting up a play like that.
Oh, that was a beautiful play by him and a nice one-timer. Like, fuck, man. Honestly, again, people shit on him, and I think the main reason people shit on Ritchie is because he's supposed to be a fourth liner. That's what he is. Yeah. But I think people shit on Ritchie because of where he was put in the Jeff Ward days, when he was put with Monahan and Gaudreau, and they were trying to find that next Michael Furland, I want to say, when they did that, and that would it didn't work. But that's not his fault. He was slotted improperly, and people forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't put somebody that is a fourth line player into that type of position.
Honestly, a very effective one.
Truly, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he plays with a lot of energy, a lot of impact. He loves hitting guys, and he'll get the occasional goal. Not many, obviously, but
you don't need a whole shitload from your fourth line, right?
No, exactly. I mean, even against Buffalo, that fourth line was, they did a lot of hitting. They executed what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
bring energy to the game.
I found in the first 3 games, the fourth line really helped a lot as far as um just getting momentum our way and ending shifts in the offensive zone and grinding the opponent down and tiring them out type of thing.
Yep.
I didn't find they were very good in Buffalo, but nobody was good in Buffalo, to be honest.
No.
There was a 5-minute stretch to start the third where we were good in Buffalo, and other than that, we were horrible, to be honest. The worst defensive game I've seen so far this year.
Yep. Absolutely. By everybody, not just the defenseman. Like, it was a very poor effort in our zone, right across the
forwards, the defensemen, and the goalies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's what killed us, right? There was just no cohesion with the team at all. Nobody knew who they were supposed to be picking up.
Yep.
And it was an absolute free for all in the slot.
Yep.
I mean,
but
when Buffalo
that
came
happens
into the zone,
sometimes. Games happen,
well, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's 4 games in. I'm not ringing any alarm bells at all, because I mean,
that's just it, right? The
sky's
not falling.
No, exactly.
It is what it is. We start 3-1. That's a great start. And I'm pretty happy with the overall effort so far, minus Buffalo. I thought, again, like, talking about Richie just a little bit more, he should have been the first star against Vegas.
He had a really good game against Vegas, actually. You're right.
Yeah, and like, it's not like he was scoring or anything like that, but like, every time the ref's arm went up, you're looking and Richie's the guy on the ice, drawing the penalty. And it's just through that fourth line's hard work. Really, really good. And again, they were, I think they spent the majority of the time in the offensive zone grinding the Knights down, right?
Yeah.
It was a really good game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that just comes down to basic hockey, right? Keep your feet moving. Keep your feet moving and things will happen. Whether it be with points, whether it be with drawing penalties, whether it be just, like you said, wearing down the opposing team. And they did plenty of that against Vegas, which was really good. Again,
absolutely,
their sole reason to be out there. Get that energy going. Start pushing guys around, make them start thinking twice about retrieving the puck in their own zone, and get clear a path for the first line to come on.
And that didn't happen in Buffalo. The fourth line wasn't good. The third line wasn't good. The second line wasn't good. The first line wasn't good. And same with all the pairs. I mean, Hannafin wasn't playing, and a lot of people are saying that that's possibly a big reason why. But I think that in a Sutter system, you should be able to expect somebody to step in.
Well,
and yes. Like, it's not like Zadorov hasn't been playing. He just got a promotion for a day, and he looked
and that's
great.
That's part of the problem, right? It doesn't matter what system you're playing with. If you're all of a sudden having 3 D pairing that are all playing with different partners for a game, it's without a practice.
Right? Well, Weaker and Tanev played together.
True. Yeah, they kind of got split up a bit there too throughout the game. Again, I guess they did have a practice with them, because Hannafin missed two practices this week.
Yeah, so. But you're right. Like, one injury or sickness or whatever is going on with Hannafin, we don't really know, but that can really mess with the chemistry that's already there and whatnot. But I just don't know how much better it would have been if he was playing,
right?
Because they weren't nobody was positionally set. Like, how many of those rush opportunities where the slot was completely open is Hannafin going to be on the ice for? Never mind in the right spot for. You know what I mean? It's like,
no, for sure.
The whole team sucked.
I'm not
having
I'm not
one
making
good player playing isn't going to fix the fact that the rest of the team sucked.
no, agreed. I'm not saying missing Hannafin was the reason they lost. I'm just saying it would contribute
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
to lack of chemistry on the back end.
Yeah.
And then of course when you start going through the game there and Sutter's kind of pulling a ward and mixing up the forward lines too, and it's like,
I
oh,
wasn't a
man,
huge fan of that.
I don't like it.
I
We keep talking about trying to build chemistry with our new players that have come in, and then once
it would be one thing if the DNA line, which I love, if that line wasn't good, but they were the best three players on the ice the whole game for the Flames, in my opinion. Those three, Mangiapane, Dubé, and Kadri.
I mean, they played the first together. After that, they didn't.
No, I know,
but
like again, they were the best in the first, and then their body of work in the first was still the best out of any Flames players in the whole game.
Right.
And like if they weren't going, if they hadn't scored, and if they weren't looking good, I would get switching Kadri up to the first line, but they shouldn't have broken that up, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree. So that was the fresh game that they were talking about. Obviously, between the beginning of the season and now we've went into Edmonton and, well, quite frankly, shut down their top players and pulled out a win. It was a great road game.
I mean, we got scored on by Ryan McLeod, Cody Ceci, and McDavid, and honestly, keeping McDavid and Draisaitl to 1 point each is, or I guess Draisaitl had 2 points, but I mean, that's good. That's shutting down the Oilers, in my opinion.
Well, exactly. Yeah, 100%. And they only had McDavid on the score sheet because of the power play, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they shut him down 5-on-5, and I mean that's how you do it, right?
100%. And how about Michael Stone that game?
Unreal, right?
3 points in the was it 3 points in the first period?
No.
Yeah, it was.
Was it 3 in the first?
Yeah, 3.
You're right.
With 7:41 left in the first period.
2 assists and 1 goal.
Yeah. No, he's been great for us. Honestly, like,
I love the fact that during the game tonight they were showing the speed of his shots after he was shooting. I was just like, wow.
I noticed that it was like every time
all of a sudden he's the guy to watch, right?
89.3 I thought was the highest I saw, but that was good that they were tracking every single Stone shot and putting it up every time. It was pretty good. So who's your standouts for the Flames over the first couple games here?
First off, I have to, I guess, eat a bit of crow and say that Kadri has been really, really solid.
He's been very good.
Yeah. I really didn't think that he would be that impactful,
especially this soon. Like he's a very impactful player, like just at the core of who he is, of how he plays. In the corners and just in the fabric of the game, as they say.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect it to happen so quickly.
Yeah, agreed. I've been pleasantly surprised with that whole line. More so Kadri and Dubé.
Mangiapane, both of those guys, Mangiapane and Dubé, have been staying on their feet more. But Mangiapane, I mean, he scored, but he's been kind of silent on that line Like
It
as far
has.
as the grit and the forechecking that the other two bring. I found, you know what I mean?
Yep. No, for sure. And I mean,
The line's been great though.
the line's been really solid. Um, and Andrew has what, 2 goals and an assist so far in 4 games. So
Yeah, like that's good.
that's really good.
And I want to give him credit for this too, because it's a problem that he's had throughout his career that he seems to be at least attempting to fix. But he's never really used his teammates very well. He's never been a passer,
Yeah.
which is, whatever, because he scores goals in theory. But he's been making some pretty good passes and keeping his head up, not just looking at the net, but looking at where the play is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And where the other people, where his teammates are, instead of just driving the net all the time.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And another thing I want to point out is Dubé looks like he's skating and playing like he's gained 30 pounds.
yeah, I'm sure. Like, I know that Sutter said that he has put on some weight, and that was kind of the exit meeting strategy between those two, was like, you got to put on some weight. I'm sure it's not 30 pounds. I'm sure it's like 10 or something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm sure.
But he looks a lot more solid. He's still
so much more solid.
Fast, but he's staying on his feet and he's fighting through checks and he's bursting past people and not falling over.
Yeah. So
he's hitting the net.
My 2 biggest criticisms of Dubé all along so far in his career has been A, the fact he can't hit the net, B, the fact he can't stay on his feet, and not like tripping. Like he got pushed around every game he was playing.
Oh, absolutely.
And
he has been a couple times, but he's not giving up on it. He gets back up and like it's like he's watched Kadri and he's listening and learning from Kadri as well as to how be an effective forechecker.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's my 2 standouts on the forward group, 2 standouts in the back end. I mean, I'm super happy and impressed with what Uyghur brings to the Flames. He's a really solid player.
All around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I've been very impressed.
Yeah, I've been super impressed with what I've seen from him. And then obviously I have to mention Michael Stone.
Yep.
I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't. Like, that's
again, his Buffalo game wasn't great. He's ripping shots, but everybody's game.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Buffalo anymore because everybody sucked. So it is what it is.
But the other 3 games, he was great.
100%. Yeah, 100%. How about you? So, who's your guys?
Those are, I mean, not to be boring, but that's those are the exact guys I would have pointed out.
You are tired, eh? You don't want to argue at all?
No, I mean, even if I wasn't tired, I'd still be like, those are the guys. And the chemistry thing is going to work itself out. As far as Huberdeau and the rest of the team, I think that's the main thing, is the guys just aren't ready for his passes. And like, I don't know about you, but watching the games, even I'm like, what? How did he see that? Like, what? Like, where is his extra eyes? Like,
he, the patience that he
on that Lindholm goal,
in the power play was unreal.
Yeah, and like there's no way he could have known Lindholm was there.
Well,
he was standing. He was like looking at the boards. Oh, maybe he saw the reflection. I don't know.
It's got to be something, right? Like that was against Vegas, right? That was our first goal.
I think that was Edmonton, or was it Vegas? Yeah, I think that was Vegas.
I think it was Vegas because he was first.
That was
first
Vegas.
assist on Lindholm on the power play. But that, I mean, just the way he stopped beside the net, and like I thought he was going to rush in and go with the puck, and then just out of the blue, he just drops it back to Lindholm for the quick shot. Lindholm in that situation, is a deadly player because
Yes.
he does not fuck around with the puck. The puck is off his stick as fast as it gets on it.
The release is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Where Toffoli, for whatever reason, has to stop it, get control, and then shoot.
And he looks at the puck
Yeah.
and not the net. That's my biggest thing. And I noticed that I've been noticing it a little bit, but I noticed it a lot today is when he's receiving a pass, he's looking at the puck, which is fair. And then he looks at it on his stick, and then he doesn't look up at the net at all. He just shoots without knowing. Like, obviously, he knows where the net is, but he doesn't know where the goalie is because he's looking at his stick and at the puck the whole time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's how he always has been. Like, I didn't really notice it last year, but
I can't see it being the case. You can't be a goal scorer and always looking at your stick, right?
yeah.
You have to have confidence that you know where that puck is.
Yeah. And I don't think Toffoli's a bad player. I just
No.
don't think he's a first line player.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, he's got a career high 58 points in 82 games, and that was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's not first line numbers.
Nope,
I mean, he had 31 goals, I think, that year, but
yeah. So I mean,
that's good, but
it's an unfair kind of comparison to talk about him on the top line, even though he is on the top line currently with the Flames. You know, because again, I mean, just based on who we have, I suppose he's the guy there. But I mean, I
mean, he's the trigger man, right? He's supposed to be the trigger man, but I think Lindholm's a much better trigger man.
100%. Yeah, that's the issue, right? That's exactly what we're talking about. Is he's not a trigger man right now at all. Like something's going on mentally with him.
Yeah. Again, not because I don't want to break up that second line because I think it's really good. But do you think that Dubé or Mangiapane would be better fitted just based on shooting the puck quickly?
Mangiapane, I think, needs to stay on the second.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing Dubé get a shot up there. Mostly because of his quickness.
Yeah, he can keep up with Huberdeau and Lindholm.
Yeah,
a lot better.
Not that Mangiapane can't, but I think Dubé would do a better job of it.
And Toffoli's skating, honestly, has surprised me. He was a little slow in Colorado, but the rest of the games, he's actually been keeping up with them.
Yeah,
he's just his shot is just a little slow. That's my biggest beef.
Yeah, that's right. And you'll use a different word than I. I wouldn't include the word little in that. It's like it's hesitant. Like that's I think there's
he hesitates. Yeah.
There's something going on mentally with him right now. He just doesn't have the confidence in his shot or in his ability to, like, one time, or I don't know if I can't remember him missing a bunch last year, but I mean, obviously
he's not missing shots either. He's just putting them in the crest and honestly, like that Logan Thompson save off of Toffoli, obviously in Vegas was or in Calgary against Vegas was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about him missing the net. I'm talking about him missing a pass and whiffing on it. And that's why he's looking at the stick to make sure he has the puck and then shooting without looking at what he's shooting at. And that's where you're going to get those shots to the crest or wide, right? It's going to be one or the other. You're not really you're not going to have the accuracy that you need to continue to produce on the first line.
Yeah. And I mean, if he was a split second faster, that Thompson wouldn't have got over.
Well, that's it. I mean? It means
he shot it right in his glove because Thompson was there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But he has been getting better, I think. I'll give him a little bit of credit. He's been producing a little bit. If he wasn't missing and hesitating so much, he'd have 6 goals and 4 assists by now. But again, he's getting better. Not going to shit on him too much.
No.
No. But shall we take a break and talk about Sportsbook, DraftKings Sportsbook? That's the one.
Yes, we should definitely have a quick break and discuss DraftKings. We'll be right back, everybody. Hockey fans, it's finally time to hit the ice again, and thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you're in for the season of a lifetime. New customers can bet $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets if they win. I'm definitely doing it the next Battle of Alberta. And if that wasn't enough excitement, you can turn small bets into bigger payouts with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game and get $200 in free bets if they do. That's code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age, some restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Well, let's take a look at the week ahead, Chris.
The week ahead.
On Saturday, we have the Carolina Hurricanes coming to town. They are a hell of a good team with a very good goaltender.
Yep.
And that I feel like even though we've played against, the Cup champs and the Oilers and stuff, like everybody's warmed up now, and I feel like this is going to be the biggest test so far.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big one. Carolina has been a really decent team for a couple of years now, and they're continue to roll. They've been a. What do you think now? With this is their third year, maybe they've been a really strong.
Yeah,
with
I like the way they're built. I've heard Rod Brindamore talk a little bit about how they don't have a trigger man.
Right.
Maybe
he should just throw a jersey on them.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
He's in better.
He could probably keep up.
Yeah, he's in better shape than most of the players in the league, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I really like what they did this year, and they got a trigger man. He's just on IR,
right?
Because I'm pretty sure they got both Brent Burns, which is a great addition I'm going to talk about in a second, and Max Pacioretty for basically free.
Yeah.
Max Pacioretty was just a cap dump from Vegas, and once he's back, he'll be their trigger man.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing for them. And that Brent Burns, I think, is one of the most underrated moves of the offseason, because you can't give Burns a shitload of time anymore, because he's older and he's not as effective when he's playing a whole bunch. But if you keep him to offensive zone starts and power play, guy can have a career year as far as points. Like, he is still that good at doing that. He's just not so effective at getting back anymore,
right?
Because he's slower. But
it really
and they have great defense around him. So
yeah, exactly. He doesn't have to be the guy.
Yeah.
But it really blows me away that San Jose lets him go and keeps Carlson. Not that Carlson has a tradable contract, but
that's the thing. They can't trade Carlson. They would need to add something to Carlson's, Carlson and a second round pick for future considerations. Like, and they'd have to hold half of his contract. Like, it's a bad contract.
Yeah, it'd be worth it
for them. Well, I don't know if it would be worth it for them, because they're trying to rebuild here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it'd be worth it for them to include a pick, but at least another piece. But anyways, that's about as far as I'm going to go in a conversation about the San Jose Sharks. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, they're bad.
Yeah.
So Carolina, that's going to be a hard test. I think we have what it takes to be pretty, competitive with them. It could go either way. It could be one of those back and forth overtime type of affairs. And and we got Pittsburgh on Tuesday.
Yep.
Again, all of these are at the Dome, and we've got lots of practice time here because we've got 2 days off in between Carolina and Pittsburgh, and then 3 days off between Pittsburgh and Edmonton.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
Pittsburgh.
all three of these games are going to be extremely difficult.
Oh, 100%. They're both really good. All three good teams.
Yeah, Carolina for kind of the reasons you just spoke of. Pittsburgh, Sid seems like he wants one more crack at things. He's really elevating his game and pushing hard. So
I agree.
mean, you can never count Pittsburgh out when Sid the kid's on the ice. And then of course, Edmonton coming to town, they're going to be ornery, right? We beat them in their barn, and just a few days ago, so they're going to be looking for a bit of redemption.
100%.
We just need to keep playing them like we did on Saturday, and keep that going. Show them who's boss, right? Because I mean, playing them 2 times so quickly, and then I think we only play them one more time the rest of the season, don't we?
Yeah, it's bad scheduling, but
Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, there's 100%. One thing I want to say too about Edmonton, and even just in that game we played against Edmonton as well, Matthew Tkachuk is still like basically my favorite forward in the league, but I was really impressed with Kadri and how he's supposed to be this like Matthew Tkachuk replacement, but he's not. Completely different, like same type of player kind of, but I was really impressed with how he didn't react like how Tkachuk reacts to everything.
Yeah. When
I can't remember who it was beaking him. I think it was Kane was beaking him, and I think he said something like I'm gonna break your finger again or something fucking stupid like that, something only fucking Evander Kane would say. And Kadri was just like whatever, like skated by, and then proceeded to draw a penalty, and like
well, and and he had a 2-point night, and which I'm sure he wanted to show up Edmonton the best he could anyways, after all the crap that he had to deal with during the playoffs there with the racism online cunts. And all that garbage, right? So yeah, no, it's good on him. It was a really good game again for him against Edmonton in Edmonton, and like I said, it'll be a tough one on the 29th of this month.
Absolutely, and I feel really good about having Lindholm, Kadri, Backlund down the middle.
Yeah,
basically anytime McDavid is on the ice, you're going to have a shutdown center.
That's right. You're going to have a healthy dose of somebody that knows how to play 200 feet worth of hockey and
can read plays while they're happening instead of reacting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's nice having 3 of them now, isn't it? Which is a lot different than what we've been used to for quite a while.
Yeah.
Quite a while. So yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. Having those 3 is super helpful when it comes to playing those top level guys, right?
Yep, absolutely. The Wranglers haven't been doing that great.
No. I saw a poster. I think I actually might have been the guy that approved it. At the time, it was Flames were 3-0 and the Wranglers are 0-2, and the guy says, "Tell me again why we want to let the kids play over the veterans."
I saw that, yeah, but I mean that's also not super.
No, I know.
Super accurate, like just because the team's doing bad doesn't mean somebody might not be ready. I mean, I don't think there is anybody who's ready, but you can have NHL ready players on a fucking minor team that's not doing good.
Yeah, like Sutter at 53 or whatever. How old is he?
I think he's 36, 34, 35, 36, something like that. Yeah. But again, he's been doing good for them down there, and he looked like if we gave him an NHL contract and started him on the third line, I would have been fine. He looked good in preseason, and I don't mean just the goals he scored, because he did score a couple, but he just plays the right way. Shockingly enough, Daryl Suther's son plays a really good game of hockey.
Yeah, a gritty game in the boards, comes out with the puck. Yeah, absolutely. Interesting to note also, Wolf was actually pulled out of a game as well the other night.
He hasn't been doing good. He's been bad, like straight up bad. I watched the highlights of 2 of the games so far.
Yeah.
Did you get season tickets?
I didn't.
You did?
No, I didn't. I'm still probably going to go grab some.
Yeah.
I haven't decided.
I think
I want to do a healthy mix of Flames and Wranglers this year. So I think if I go to all the Wranglers as well as mix in my normal amount of Flames, I might have to come and live with you. You know what I mean? My wife might disown me a little bit. So.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but also like, is it worth it? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what I'm saying is get the room ready.
Yeah. It's ready. There's a pillow on the floor over there. So
sweet. I'll bring the 70-inch and we'll watch the Flames together.
70-inch in a mobile home that's gonna not hurt anybody's necks. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, the Wranglers lost a lot of their leadership group and have a bunch of new players and all that type of stuff. So I'm not worried about them. They're gonna have a good season 2. They're off to a slow start. We're gonna have a good season as well. We're off to a great start as far as the Flames are concerned. Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be good. We're like I said, we're just a week into the season.
Yeah.
It's been pretty exciting so far. It's been a lot of storylines. It's been fun.
Yep.
It's been
3-1 to start. Go Flames, go.
Right. And hopefully on the next show we'll be what do you think? 5-1? 5-1. We'll be 5-1. Hey, I mean Edmonton.
I hope so, but I'm gonna say 4-0-1.
Edmonton beat Carolina 6-4 tonight.
Sorry, 4-1-1 is gonna be my guess.
4-1-1.
I think we'll beat Pittsburgh, and Carolina will get us in overtime probably.
Wow, ye of little faith.
I try and be realistic, so if we win both, I'm happy. I mean, I'd be happy anyways, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you
We're
mean.
gonna lose every game for the rest of the season, and then now I'm gonna be really, really happy every time we don't. So,
I mean, you won't be happy when people talk to you and they call you out for saying shit like that.
yeah, well, I'm sure they know I'm not serious.
Right.
All
right.
Anyways, it's been great. Quick little episode today because it's after the game and both of us are tired as fuck. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is. Make sure you hit subscribe, download the episode, and thanks for all your support. Check out all of the shows on the Hockey Podcast Network if you have any questions about any other teams that they might there's shows about every team. So
yeah, actually, absolutely. The Hockey Podcast Network on Spotify has a really wide array of content. It's actually a lot of fun. And make sure that you go through and download the DraftKings app and get involved in that. and start up with using the promo code, the THPN, because I mean, getting that $200 gift to start off with is pretty amazing. So make sure you're doing that. Let's get into some betting. I want to start building a nice little pot in my app. I've started mine, and it's been fun so far.
Yeah, you're doing good so far.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, not bad. I'm ahead, and that's all that matters.
Yep, as long as you're not losing too much,
Yeah, that's right.
It's always fun. I find it's the same thing with fantasy hockey as well, with pools and stuff like that. It really keeps you involved and aware of what's going on around the league, because every once in a while you'll watch another game, or you're always looking at your NHL app or score app or whatever, and figuring out who's doing good, who's not, and how teams are doing, how players are doing, all that type of stuff. So
yeah, absolutely
keeps you up to date with the league.
Yep. And speaking of fantasy hockey, if there's anybody that's listening or watching that is involved or part of Fantrax, bring it to your developers. Fix your shit.
It's horrible.
It's got to be the worst fantasy app I've ever used in my life. Get it fixed.
And you're talking to the two people right now who are the top two in their league right now.
Yeah.
So
it's a pain in the ass.
It's an absolute pain in the ass. The user interface is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Probably switching back to YouTube. Yahoo next year, because Yahoo works better, a lot better.
Yeah. Sad to say.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for this week. Go Flames, go.
Cheers.
Cheers.